What is up, guys? Welcome to another video, and today we have got another Need for Speed video, and today we are with
MrMagnificentMedia. And I am a Need for Speed fan. Alongside with Cam and Theo and the rest, I'm someone who fought very hard for the Need for Speed 2015 that you see today. But I've been recently disappointed about one thing in particular, which is why I'm here with Cam today.
Yeah, so me and Martin, we're going to go through basically everything we know so far, good points, bad points. We're just going to discuss Need for Speed in general. So without further ado, let's get straight into the video. So Martin, let's talk about the trailer and the release first. How? Go, just go.
Trailer, oh my goodness. There's so many things to talk about in the trailer. I mean, we've all seen it 100 times. Mainly the reason why I watched it so many times is because, number one, disbelief of the graphics.
Yeah, the in-engine footage.
I know, man. I don't understand. But number two is...
Even if it's not looking that good, like, to have it anywhere near that would be mad. But sorry, carry on.
Yeah, number two is impatience for the game. Like, I'm waiting.
Yeah.
So, one thing I want to talk about the trailer is, to all the people who said, fuck Underground 3, oh no, we don't need it. Did you know the Need for Speed 2015 teaser trailer has surpassed the Need for Speed Rivals trailer, the teaser as well, by at least 3 times?
The Rivals one is on 500,000, I believe, or something around those lines. And the Need for Speed 2015 one's on 4 million now, 5 million.
Definitely 5
million. So yeah, it's quite a few times.
Yep. So that came out 2 years ago, and something that's done it in about like 1 week and a half. That just says a lot. That this is the Need for Speed that we do need. That says it all.
Well, so, those people who say we don't need another Underground, I don't think they realise that Need for Speed Underground is the best-selling Need for Speed of all time. And in addition to that, Underground 1 and Underground 2 have sold more copies than the whole Forza series. So to say that an Underground was successful or a good game, you've got to be high. like it's sold more than the whole Forza series since its dawn. Like, that should say it alone, really. I personally think the trailer was absolutely amazing. The way it was handled, everything from, each car, it had its own scene in a way, and every scene was impactful. And then in addition to that, they also leaked the release date, which is November the 3rd. I've got some mixed opinions on this. Me and RX Speedster were talking about this in the comments. And I believe that's like 2 days before like COD launches for some reason. Now, I think this can go like one of two ways. I don't think it's going to affect it too much, because anyone who's going to want Need for Speed has another reason to buy Need for Speed. So it's something to play before COD releases. B, obviously it's around holiday season, so it's going to be a good Christmas present for someone to get. And I think generally, if you want to buy Need for Speed, you can still buy Need for Speed regardless if COD's launching or not. So I think it does have its pros and cons. But I thought that'd be just a bit of an interesting thing to kind of bring up, because it does clash. It does clash, but I doubt it's going to have a huge impact. So next, should we go on to car selection?
Yes. So Cam, you remember when I made a car list video?
I do.
And you was like, oh, the game's not even been announced yet.
Yep.
Well, it looks like the car list I came up with does seem to be similar to what Need for Speed 2015 is doing.
Yeah. And
then in the comments, I had a lot of people saying, well, more tuners, those cars. I just knew that in 2015, those games could not do that. They had to give a mix for everyone. Yeah. Supercars, tuners, low-end cars, high-end cars, and it seemed like that's what they've done, and I just think it's fantastic. I mean, we've seen a Nissan Skyline 2000 GTR. Yeah. It doesn't get more retro than that.
2000 GTR, we've seen the RWB Porsche, the 993 I think it is, or 964 or something like that. But yeah, the car selection is mad. I think everyone who's calling this Underground 3, to me personally, I see this more as a Carbon 2. Like, it just has a lot more elements of Carbon. Like, you've got all of the cars, you've got your canyons, you've got, your different sections in the story mode and stuff.
You are completely right, but for some reason I just want to call it Underground 3.
I know everyone has.
If you look closely, the fonts, the color they're using is blue, which is like Carbon.
Yep.
And then you've also got Police, which is like Carbon. At night time, which is like Carbon.
Yeah, it's like everyone just wants to say Underground 3 just because they want it to be an Underground 3. Like it's like they're aiming to go to. I think they're aiming to do what Black Box did originally with Carbon, which was go for a Underground Most Wanted mix. But I think this time they're going to try to do it right. For me, Carbon, it was a bit of a disappointment. I've talked about this loads. But for me, Carbon was a bit of a disappointment. What I think they're going to do, as well as being a whole reboot of the series, which we should talk about later, and how most of the games will probably follow the similar trend to what this game has done. But I think mainly what they're going to try do is Carbon. Like, it feels like it's Carbon 2 done right. Yeah. And the car selection, you best be expecting, Martin. I'm going to pink slip you in my R32 and I'm going to beat your ass. You're going to get smacked.
I'll be waiting, Cam.
Alright.
For the years I was on YouTube, you've never seen me play a game, so you're thinking, I'm going to wipe Martin.
And you have seen me play a game, so you should be scared, bitch.
No.
Anyway, should we go on to the reputation model?
Yeah, when you brought up this point, I was like, wow.
Okay.
So let's talk about it.
So there's 5 ways to build reputation in the game. Along with this, I assume, I talked about this in one of the videos, that there is 5 different stories in the game too. So I believe it's customization, I'm actually going to need to get this up. Alright, so here we go. So the 5 styles are speed, style funnily enough, build, crew, and outlaw. Did I miss anything? Nah, I didn't. And those are the 5 ways you can earn reputation in the game. Now, from what it sounds like to me, this sounds like you're gonna have 5 different story arcs teaching you through the different methods of how each of the game works. So you've got your speed, which is mainly focused on your racing. You got your style, which is mainly focused on your customizing. Then you've got the crew storyline or reputation model, where I'm guessing you're gonna have to build a crew similar to how Carbon did it.
That's another thing linking to Carbon.
Yeah. Then you've got outlaw, which obviously is running away from the popo. So I think it's interesting that they're bringing reputation back in the game. For me personally, the progression model has to be so if you are racing, you should only get money from doing actual events. Yep. That's how I see it. I don't think you should get any money from doing any pursuits or pimping up your car, for example. But that's just my point of view. What do you think of these 5 ways to play? Like the return of reputation. Like overall, what is what do you think?
You just said that you don't think you should get money if it's not a race.
So basically, if it's a race, that's the only way you should be able to earn money. Yeah.
But if you look at list of ways to play, customization and reputation, it makes me think of the magazine covers in Underground 1 and 2.
Yes.
You did get money that way, so maybe that would be alright.
The thing is about that is it kind of felt legal in a way.
Yeah.
I think what they're doing here is they're going for an illegal sense of everything. Like everything just seems really gritty and really raw. And personally, from my point of view, anyway, it wouldn't make sense to include magazine covers because it's legal. It's it's you're promoting an illegal street racer on a legal magazine. Like it just doesn't make sense to me. The most interesting style that I was looking at whilst I was looking through these details is actually outlaw.
I was going to say that as well. It seems the most interesting.
Because, we haven't really had a mechanic where you have to run away from the police and get bounty and all that kind of stuff in a very long time. So to actually have, a system where you run away from the police and you get rewarded for it through reputation, I don't think we've had anything since Most Wanted 2005. And the interesting thing about these 5 ways to play is, and this is just me speculating right now, I can genuinely see. So once you've completed all these, you've got one major boss at the end. I don't know who it will be. Maybe it might be the green Porsche. But you'll have one boss at the end, and he will be the master of all those techniques, so to speak. Yeah. And maybe he might be the boss. Like this is just me speculating right now. We do know a story is coming back. What do you want from the story?
What do I want? I want that kind of intensity of Sergeant Cross. I want it like that because Need for Speed, most games are saying this is going to be on a massive one. It's going to have a good narrative, and I want to see characters that are memorable. They make you, want to play on. And if a character like Sergeant Cross is shouting his head off, "Everyone,
Oh
like
my
that
god!
towards the end of the
Even
game.
when someone says that in real life, in my head I'm just thinking everyone.
Yeah, that would top the game off for me. So I think Outlaws my favorite as well.
This is a really like nitpicky issue. Is in the soundtrack, you know how in the old games, especially Underground 1 and Underground 2, they used to have Need for Speed specialized like soundtracks,
like a dedicated song.
Yeah. Like
Yeah.
Petty Pablo, he had Need for Speed, and then there was another guy, was it Capone or something across like that? Yeah. I want to see a song like that come back.
Yeah, definitely.
I think another thing, the soundtrack, like I think to kind of suit modern day, it needs to be a mixture of D&B, rap, and a bit of house maybe. I think the soundtrack's one of those things that they kind of need to get right to give a good atmosphere.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd love to see a modern day Underground 1 soundtrack, personally. Yeah. Like, I can't think of many songs off the top of my head, but that'd be pretty cool, I think.
Yeah,
I think that with this game, it's a homage to what Black Box did through the Underground era. I think... Yeah. I'm not sure whether it's going to be as good as some of the games Black Box made, and just for nostalgia purposes, to be honest. But, I mean, from what we've seen so far, it's going to be pretty goddamn close.
I think it's actually going to be better.
You think?
Yeah, more professional. I mean, 2 years development time. They are trying to revitalize the Need for Speed franchise, and this is their lucky shot. And if they don't do that, then what was the point?
I think Need for Speed will be successful for a very long time, even if this does fail. For the basic reason, it's just got the name. I mean, the fact that they've had a 2-year break, they've come back, and now they've got 5 million views on YouTube. I mean, it just says it all, really. I think the series as a whole, I think it's growing again. It's growing really well, and I genuinely believe that racing games might have a place back on the throne. You know, it seems like for a while, racing games they've kind of seen as child's play. You know, like people didn't really take them seriously. You know, I think recently FPSs have been the king on top. You know, through the PS2 era, I'd argue that racing games are one of the biggest genres.
Definitely, yeah.
And it seems like they've kind of slipped off in a way. I think Need for Speed 2015 might, if done right, you know, I think it could be a return to, you know, racing games are back on form, to be honest.
Yeah, if done right, and that leads to my last point, but we'll talk about that later.
Yeah, okay, so the next we should probably talk about the cops. Cops are back also, as we've seen in many of the trailers. But how do you want the cops to be structured? Do you want it to have a heat system similar to like Most Wanted 2005?
Absolutely. I want that heat system back. I just love that. I mean, there's so much progression in these games. And the cop system was actually a progression system in itself. So, say we have a beginner racer, you know, obviously Heat 1 and 2. When it gets Heat 3, is getting like around his neck. Only the most experienced, the most skilled will be able to handle Heat 5 and 6 and stuff like that. And as we know, as we progressed, we had more kind of like devices and tactics that the police would use against us, such as helicopters and spike strips. If that is back, oh my gosh, with the music, the hot pursuit music and stuff, oh my goodness.
Well, I think
oh my goodness,
there's one thing that is, to me personally, suggesting that a heat system will be coming back. So in the teaser trailer, we had the Crown Vic. Crown Vic. Everyone who's watching this video has probably seen that Crown Vic. If you haven't, I'll show it on the screen now. But yeah, there's a Crown Vic. Now, this leads me to think that, you know, okay, you've got your RWB Porsche, you've got... I imagine they'll probably be higher end cars like Aventadors and stuff. So if they are to have higher class cars, there's no way a Crown Vic realistically is going to be keeping up with a fully tuned Aventador. Now the fact, you know, because they do usually put heat level 1 cars in the trailers. Usually, because you know they're early in development and nothing's been confirmed, and they're probably still working on, you know, the police like higher heat level cars. But this leads me to think the fact that the Crown Vic is in the trailer, that the heat system may be back, just for the basic reason it doesn't make logical sense for a Crown Vic to follow you all the time. Yeah.
I mean, I don't want to see anything like Bugattis or anything like that. I swear, I will eject the disc and fling it like a frisbee. Honestly.
Hypercars are definitely a big no-no. I don't want to see a Bugatti. I don't want to see a P1. I don't want to see a LaFerrari. I just want to see an S13 with an RB body kit, please. And that's just me personally. I'm sure they will, appeal to the supercar audience, and even like the just kind of the general exotic audience. What I think they'll do is, I genuinely can see them following the carbon route. You've got your muscles, you've got your exotics, and you've got your shoot. I said castles. I said castles. But I think now we should talk about the always online. Yes. This is the main thing that a lot of people have been annoyed about in the game, and Martin, I know you yourself, you've got a lot to say about this, so feel free to rant.
Yes, no, I promised not to get into a rant, because that's what I wanted to do initially when I found out the news, but I've kind of calmed down now. But I mean, I've got a lot of points to make, and what are they doing? What are they doing? Ghost Games, you went away for like 2 years to craft up this excellent looking game. You've called it a reboot. It's looking so hopeful. Now, obviously the trailer's got loads of views. That indicates, wow, this game could probably sell a lot. So now we're thinking, if people want to buy our game, is anything holding them back from that? Anything? Anybody? Yes, always online. Now, obviously, I'm not one to complain. I got my unlimited internet. My connection is all right. But nobody's connection is perfect. It drops and stuff. So, say for example, there's an external issue such as, I don't know, a tree falls and something, like there's a lightning strike or whatever. If your internet connection goes down, you're not playing Need for Speed. That's it. Or let's say you're like doing the final race in Need for Speed 2015, and it says like, I don't know, a 7-lap race. Oh shit, this spin is so hard, but I'm about to do it. Connection gone. All these little situations can really like mess up the game experience. And finally, I've got like this group of people that I really feel sorry for. It's obviously the people who, say there's a kid, Jimmy, the kid. He's 7 years old, and he tells his mum, "Mommy, my birthday in November. I want Need for Speed Need for Speed 2015,
Underground 3."
He gets the game. He gets the game from his mum. Yes, mum. Thank you very much. Sticks it into his PS4. Mommy, I need PS Plus. I need to go online. And his mum is just absolutely.
How they're doing it is, so the always online, you can play single player, but you just need to have a connection to the EA servers.
I see. Okay.
PS Plus, Xbox Live, it's not needed. That's only needed to actually play online, similar to how the crew did it. You just need a connection to the EA servers, so that if the EA servers were supposed to go down, I know there is dedicated servers, so there should be less issue with that. But I think how they're doing it is, so basically you don't need PS Plus or anything, you only need that to actually use the multiplayer components of the game. My main gripe with the always online, I don't think it's Ghost who decided this, it's definitely EA.
Definitely EA, yeah.
I think EA are at fault here. I mean, it seems like as soon as they're releasing some good games, you know what, we'll just make it always online, YOLO. Like, it just seems like that's what they're doing. It's like, we're finally making a good game. Let's make it worse. Like, from what we've heard from Need for Speed so far, this is the only piece of bad news I've heard. Yeah. And it's really disappointing.
I know, right?
And the only problem I have with always online, it's not, I've got a perfect internet connection. If it goes down, it's usually back up in 5 minutes. There's no real issues. But my main problem is, as a whole, as a society, as a gaming community, we're not ready to go always online yet.
Yeah.
Like, no, we're not. It's just not the case, with DDoS attacks, with people breaching the PlayStation Network servers.
I did forget about that.
Lizard Squad. I mean, it was only a few years ago when the PlayStation Network was down for the whole summer.
I know, yeah.
I missed that shit. And
like that.
And like it seems like developers are really pushing this on us, and I mean, we should. I've signed petitions to try to stop this, but in hindsight, do I think they're going to stop it?
I don't. I just wish they would, but it's EA. What can I say?
I mean, they've done this before. I mean, with Ultimate Team, for example, that's always online. All the other types of sports games that use online server, they're all online, obviously. Even with Rivals, I think you could play that game offline, but I think it had some type of always online difficulties. I can't remember what it was exactly. I think you would get kicked if you disconnected to a lobby which you automatically put in or something across those lines. And that pissed me off because it disconnected quite a bit. But the one hope I do have for always online is the fact there is dedicated servers. That's the main thing that kind of gave me a glimpse of hope. But it really pisses me off because now I can't take, say, my PS4 to, say, my grandparents' house and play Need for Speed. unless I use my phone as a mobile hotspot and then do some next level shit. But I'm not gonna do that. I'm not
The
gonna
thing
do
about
that.
that is, nowadays, internet connections are 4G on the phone, and that is not cheap or usually unlimited. I'm gonna ask, is yours?
Nope.
See, so there you go.
I got 2 gigs.
That's gonna burn your 2 gigs. I got 5, and that's gonna burn your data away for the month.
So, I mean, it is a bit disappointing. I mean, the only way we're really gonna have a say in this is with our wallets.
Yeah.
And by now,
I just can't do that.
we all know we've been waiting 2 years for this shit. I don't give a shit. I'll buy the season pass. I'll buy the limited edition. I'll buy the motherfucking servers. Just give me Need for Speed now.
Yeah.
You know, like if this was Forza, or if this was I don't know, mention any other game. I don't know, The Crew 2. You know, whatever.
Yeah.
Project Cars. If it was one of those games, I could wait. But not for Need for Speed 2015, bro. Like, this shit, I'm not waiting. As soon as that thing's ready for pre-order, I'm going to go pre-order that shit. And then I'm going to go pre-order the pre-order for the season pass. I'm going to buy everything. Like, we've been waiting 2 years for this shit. And as you know, I think most people in this racing community, at least in the arcade racing community anyway, have been lifelong Need for Speed fans. Need for Speed was one of those series. It was one of the most influential gaming series. I'm not just talking about racing. I'm talking about gaming series as a whole. And now the fact we're having a return to Underground 1, Underground 2, and like the whole Black Box Underground era of games, it doesn't make sense for anyone not to buy this. I mean, even the filthy casuals who don't know gaming, so to speak, they're still going to want to buy this game because it looks like their childhood in a way.
Yeah. But again, there's going to be like few select people who just have internet problems, such as their internet is not unlimited or it's just not stable, and I just feel sorry for them. I mean, thank you for correcting me about the PS Plus, but EA, it was going so right, everything was in a forward motion. Everyone's screaming hype train, and I've seen now tons of comments saying that people are not getting the game anymore.
For me
personally, it was going so right. They had one job. It
doesn't affect my hype. I'm still as hyped as for the game as I was originally, because I have a good connection. But I saw one guy in my comments, Rocket Bunny, I think his name was, Rocket Bunny 76 or something across those lines, and he doesn't have good internet.
Yeah, I've seen these comments about.
Yeah,
sorry, Rocket Bunny.
Yeah, I know. Like he tweeted me, and it had a cap of his iPod settings screen, and it just said no Wi-Fi.
Wow.
And this was me 5 minutes ago. I can't play Need for Speed 2015. You know, someone who's been with the series for a while, and he can't play he can't play it now. Like, it is pathetic. It really, really is. And I mean, unless you are, if you are in say a less economically developed country, or you know, if you are somewhere where there isn't a stable connection, you know, even this is a bit of a radical example. Say you're in a submarine for the army, you know, they can't play the game. I mean, it's a bit of a radical example, but it still applies, you know.
Yeah.
And it has put a bit of a bummer on other people's hype. For me personally, it doesn't affect me, like I said. I mean, I can see it being a bit of a hindrance. Like, you can't stay up all night for 8 hours and expect, like, there will be day one issues. Guaranteed.
Yeah.
Because me and Theo put a bet down. Me and Black Panther put a bet down for 10 quid. He doesn't think there's going to be day one issues. Fuck my arse, is there going to be any day one issues? Like, do it hard, because there will be. I guarantee. I can't think of one game that hasn't had any day one issues. The Crew, you know, even though it was minimal, that had issues. Horizon, that had issues. I mean, do we even need to discuss Halo's multiplayer component? That was completely broken. Now, I don't think it's going to be broken. I don't think it's even going to be that radical. But will you have disconnects, and will it be hard to connect to the servers on day one? Hell yeah.
I'm sure of it too.
I mean, it's a stupid idea to say not to be honest. Thinking about it logically, you know, no company, no matter how much testing you do, no matter, you know, whatever you can do in the office virtually, it's not the same as a real life, you know, component where you've got the servers up and real life people are logging onto the servers. So, as well as it being always online, those who actually, you know, people might get confused thinking, oh, is my internet not working? Can I not play this game? And they're going to get confused with the always online and the day one problems as well. That's another thing. Like,
oh yeah, that's a good point.
It seems like the internet side, I just don't think gamers generally are ready to go always online. I mean, there's a reason why the Xbox One is not DRM anymore.
Actually, just thought of something. If you remember the tweet that kind of like leaked this news by Need for Speed themselves, they said, "Oh, there would be nice benefits." And I think I was in the Speedway Gamers video yesterday, and I said, "Okay, they said there will be benefits. That's good. Let the people who can access those benefits have it." So now they're saying, "Yeah, benefits." So now I want to know why it can't work offline. Until they do that, I don't want to hear shit. There's no excuse. There's no excuse.
There is no excuse. Like, you can't. You're not going to be able to sit there, have a 24-hour session, and not disconnect once. There cannot be that. There's no way that can be a thing. There's no way. I can leave my game playing in the background. Say I don't know. Say I go to play football for 2 hours, come back, the game will be disconnected, guaranteed.
Yeah.
The pause screen. Another thing. If the pause screen doesn't actually pause.
I also find something else. So you're busy customizing your car, and you know that's not a 5-minute job. If your connection drops during that, would it like save your car as a draft, or do you have to start all over again? All these questions, like I need to know answers.
Where if I'm customizing a car and I'm say there's a custom vinyl editor, and I spent like 6. I know Andreas, he's another subscriber. He spent, I think it was 6 hours customizing a car on one of these games. Imagine 5 hours, 59 minutes in. You're connected. You'll be disconnected from the EA servers. Like, I'd actually cry. I'd be like, no, what the fuck? I'd throw something around the room. Like, I actually get that annoyed. And I think the main
tables and stuff.
Yeah, like I actually genuinely would. Like, it doesn't add anything into the game. I don't give a shit about the benefits, you know. I could not give a shit about being social. I could not give a shit about, I don't know, you know, giving me free money daily for like, I don't give a shit about your piracy bullshit. Just let me play the game offline. Let me own the game. We don't own the game if it's always online.
We really don't. There's no promise that EA is going to be around for like, 5 more years. You don't know what's going to happen. And that game that you bought, Need for Speed 2015, could be useless in a couple of years.
But with this being said, although the always online, it is a bummer, let's be honest. I mean, it is going to let a lot of people down, and people like Rocket Bunny that just not going to be able to play the game, which, that's fucking sad. That's
sad.
Really fucking sad.
Especially after the wait of, 2 years after Rivals, you know?
Mm-hmm.
All these promises, we're going to give you the game you want, customizations returning, and to hear this, ouch.
But
ouch.
The features that they have mentioned so far, you know, licensed body kits, licensed rims, all that kind of stuff, you know, your wide selection of cars, Reputation coming back, the cops, the open world in LA, you know, everything so far. Gameplay-wise, you know, obviously not talking about always online here, gameplay-wise, sounds great. And for me personally, I'm still hyped and I'm still going to buy this shit.
I'm buying it too, but I think I'm a bit more like...
a bit wary.
Like treading carefully than you.
I
want to wait till E3.
I can definitely see DLCs being a slight issue. Because it is EA in the end of the day, you know, that's what they do.
So do you mean like abusing it or...
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, like Most Wanted 2012. Basically, you know, you've got your hero pack, and then you've got your movie pack.
The movies pack.
Movie pack? Who the fuck asked for a movie pack? Like, But I mean, we'll see. I mean, the base game, I just hope it's brimmed with content. I think the main thing for me personally is I want to return to PS2 era content.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you've had 2 years to develop the game. Don't do what Ivory Tower did. You know, 7 years, and they were there just tickling themselves. Like, please, like, you've had 2 years now. Black Box made arguably one of the best games in about 9 months. Ghosts.
Crazy, man.
Ghosts. If you can get anywhere near as much content as what Black Box did in those 9 months that they had, and you can, if you can do that in your 2 years you've had, and you know, we for once actually get a full game. You know, it's not half the game given to us, then the half the game DLC. If this is actually the full game you're going to be given to us, and it's not, you're not going to give us unlocked content on the way, I will be so happy. I will be so happy, and that's what I'm hoping for. It's a return to the PS2 era of Need for Speeds, because that's what I've been missing. I think that's what everyone's been missing, you know. Most Wanted, Underground 1, even Hot Pursuit 2, that game had so much content. That's what I want to return to, and it's you know, you can have your features, but there's no point having the features if A, the game lasts 10 minutes, and B, if the gameplay's not fun.
Yeah.
And you can't judge the gameplay. You can't judge, you know, how the game actually plays until it's in your hands and you're playing it.
Yeah, that's another thing. They're using the Frostbite 3 engine, and I just hope the handling isn't like compromised because of that. And it just reminds me of Need for Speed The Run, and I did not like that game at all. Although it was pretty.
It was pretty. It was, but graphics don't make a game. Yeah. Gameplay over graphics every single day of the week. And yeah, I don't want to get too hyped beyond the point of disbelief when I play the game, and you know, I don't want to be disappointed again like I was with The Crew.
Yeah.
You know, I want to get this in my hands. I want to see what it's like. Hopefully EGX, and I guess we'll just see how it is. You know, I think the main thing, guys, is just wait till you play it. You know, or even see gameplay first, because from what they're showing right now, it's trying to get you hyped. It's market tactics. You know, it's what they do. It's what companies do. They try to get you hyped to the game. They want you to pre-order. They want your money basically, and they're doing a good fucking job, aren't they?
I can't wait till E3, man.
E3 is next, and
that's like that's decision time.
That is the
holy game I'm gonna get on day one, or you know,
the holy mecca, holy mecca of gaming. It's coming. It's coming. The biggest event of the year for us gamers is coming very soon. Is it 2 weeks now, or like 8 days, or something like that? It might be 8 days, I'm not sure. It's sometime in the next 2 weeks. E3 is coming, and Need for Speed 2015 is finally going to get some gameplay. They have actually announced that the demo has been completed in the office, and now we wait.
Wow.
Now we wait. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Martin, do you have any last words before we log off?
Not to sound like a completely negative person. I'm really looking forward to the game, and yeah, I'm sure it's going to sell well. It's going to be a fantastic game. And at first, we've got to give a big thanks to Ghost Games.
Yeah.
Wow. You listen to us. That is enough for me. You listen to us. That
alone for me. I mean, Ghost themselves as a developer, I don't think they've done much wrong.
Yeah.
I think it's EA. And it's a shame that, you know, it is that way, but it is what it is. Martin, I want to thank you for coming on.
Thank you very much for having me.
Good having you. And let me know what you guys think down below of the video, and you know, if you have any other opinions that we haven't discussed, maybe things we've missed in this video. And that's it. We'll see you guys in the next video.
Peace out.
Stay safe.